Didn't look good yesterday, did it? The president, though, is in Europe. He is connecting with his Irish roots, but he's also preparing for a big talk at the G8 summit in France. That's the gathering of the world's biggest economic powers. Chris Markowski, Wall Street Watchdog, political analyst, back with us to talk about that and some other things. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Pleasure.
Okay, so the president goes into this big meeting. I mean, our economy's not great, but some of these European economies are even worse.
There's no doubt about it. And that's hopefully we can learn from what's happening over in Europe that the same thing won't happen to us, where we have to kind of be a little bit more austere in the way that we go about spending money, or we could end up like some of these smaller European nations.
Yeah. Let's talk. We just showed those Wall Street numbers from yesterday. It wasn't a good day. What is the crystal ball telling you these days?
Well, days like that are going to happen, and unfortunately, we try to take days like that, we try to extrapolate them into the future and assume that this is going to always be this way. Just as much as last week they had a brand new IPO that doubled in one day, and all of a sudden everybody's like going crazy over something like that. Trying to judge the market.
Is it LinkedIn?
Yes,
LinkedIn. Yeah.
A week-to-week, month-to-month basis is an exercise in futility. No one's able to do it. What we have to try to take a look at is growth going forward. You have to look at individual companies, what their valuations are, and choose them like that. If you're going to look at the market as a whole and try to guess which way it's going to go, it's like gambling. I wouldn't do that.
Listen, I want to talk to you a little bit about the housing market because I know it's still bad, and there's still a lot of stuff going on that we're going to have to get through. But we had a positive story, I thought, coming out of Pasco County yesterday that housing values seem to be, that they think that they may have bottomed out in Pasco. I mean, do we think that this is finally, we're over the worst of this in Florida?
I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to be a glasses half empty guy.
Do you think so? We're still
real estate. I think we have 25-30% to go to the downside overall throughout the country. Some numbers came out yesterday. The banks right now have over 800,000 foreclosed units on their books. They're expected to foreclose on 1 million units this year, with millions more to go. That's just inventory. We all understand supply and demand. You know, the greater the supply out there, not the demand out there, what do you think is going to happen to the real estate market? You can also take a look at the historical trend line. We need to go 25-30% to the downside just to get back to the historic norm. And it's just the reality of the situation. Housing is something, if you got to go out and buy a house, you got to buy it for the right reasons. You're going to be staying there for a long period of time. Too many people assume that their home is this wonderful investment when it's not.
Yeah. Hey, before we got to ask you one more thing, because I know we sort of we postponed the debt ceiling issue for a few months, but that's still looming, isn't it? I mean, we're still going to have to get that one.
You know, wasn't the world supposed to end on Saturday? Would
have been a lot easier than fixing this debt ceiling.
Well, it's unbelievable, this apocalyptic nonsense that these people end up coming up with. If we don't raise the debt ceiling, the sky is going to fall. I mean, the sun's going to come out tomorrow. We've raised the debt ceiling over 70 times since the 1960s. I'm under the opposite camp. It's time to cut up the credit card until our politicians can be responsible. Sorry, let's live within our means. We already collect over $2 trillion in revenues.
Chris, we got to go. But
okay.
You said something there that indicated to me you're a glass half full guy, because you were quoting Annie. The sun will come out tomorrow.